You may not see it yet, but listen carefully. You have already won. The battle you've been fighting, the struggle that's been weighing you down, the obstacles that tried to break you, it's over. The shift has already happened, and what was once out of reach is now making its way to you. Whatever you did, it worked. I know you've been through seasons of hardship, moments where you questioned if all your effort, faith, and resilience even mattered. You prayed, you sacrificed, you kept pushing forward even when nothing seemed to change. But the truth is, something changed long before you could see it. There was a shift in the spiritual realm, a divine alignment set in motion that is now bringing everything together for your breakthrough. The world may have doubted you. People may have walked away, underestimating your potential. But what they didn't realize is that you were always destined for something greater. The trials weren't meant to destroy you, they were meant to shape you. And now, the very things that once stood in your way are being removed. The doors that once seemed locked are opening, not because you begged, but because you were always meant to walk through them. This is your confirmation. God has already written your victory. It's no longer a question of if, but when, and that time is now. You don't have to strive anymore. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You have already won. So before we go any further, take a deep breath. Feel it. Let that truth settle into your spirit. Everything is aligning. Everything is working for you. Let's dive deeper into this, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see your journey. What if I told you that you already won before you even saw the results? What if I told you that the shift happened long before the evidence showed up? The problem is, most people don't recognize their victory when it arrives because they're still looking for proof in the physical world, while the real work, the breakthrough, happened in the unseen. Think about everything you've endured, the battles you fought in silence, the nights when you doubted your own strength, the sacrifices no one noticed. Those were the moments that truly shaped your destiny. But the world didn't see it. They misjudged you. They thought you were failing. They assumed your efforts were wasted. But what they didn't realize is that God was preparing something bigger than their limited minds could comprehend. Imagine a seed buried deep in the ground. It looks like nothing is happening. The surface is quiet, undisturbed. People walk past, seeing only dirt, unaware of the life growing beneath. But underground, the seed is breaking apart, transforming, preparing for the moment when it will burst through the soil into the light. That was you. The struggle wasn't a sign of defeat, it was a sign of transformation. The pain you endured wasn't for nothing, it was refining you. Every rejection, every delay, every moment of loneliness served a purpose. You weren't being buried, you were being planted. And now, the time has come for you to rise. Let's be real, there were moments when you almost gave up. When nothing seemed to move, when the weight of the journey felt unbearable, when you wondered if all your effort even mattered. But guess what? That was the test of your patience, the test of your resilience, the test of your belief in something greater than what you could see. And you passed. You stayed the course. You didn't allow discouragement to define you. You didn't let the opinions of others stop you. You refused to quit when it would have been easier to walk away. And because of that, you've already won. See, people think success happens in the moment of recognition. When the money comes in, when the opportunities finally open up, when the world starts clapping for you. But real success happens in the moments no one sees. It happens when you choose to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. It happens when you wake up and commit to your vision, even when there's no proof that it's working. And now, the results of that unseen work are about to become undeniable. The world is about to see what God has been building in you all along. The people who doubted you, they're about to witness the impossible. The doors that once rejected you, They're about to swing open effortlessly. The opportunities that felt out of reach, they were always meant for you, waiting for the right version of you to step into them. You were never waiting on the breakthrough. The breakthrough was waiting on you. So let this sink in. Whatever you did, it worked. Your prayers, your faith, your consistency, it wasn't in vain. You have already won. And now, it's just a matter of stepping into what has always been yours. Most people think victory happens when they can see it, touch it, and experience it in the physical world. But the truth is, every breakthrough starts in the spirit before it ever materializes in the physical. That's why so many people miss their moment. They're waiting for proof instead of recognizing the shift that has already taken place. Chosen one, the moment you decided to rise above your limitations. You already won. The moment you refused to stay stuck in fear, self-doubt, or insecurity, the chains broke. It didn't matter that you couldn't see it yet. The shift had already happened. The universe had already rearranged itself to accommodate your next level. Think back to the hardest moments of your journey. When nothing seemed to move, when doors kept closing, when it felt like you were walking through fire with no way out. Those moments weren't just obstacles, they were the testing grounds. The fire wasn't sent to destroy you, it was sent to refine you. Just like gold is purified by fire, your trials purified your purpose. They burned away everything that wasn't meant to go with you to the next level. The reason you felt so much resistance is because your elevation required it. The people who walked away, they weren't meant to go where you're going. The setbacks, they weren't punishments, they were redirections. The delays, they weren't denials, they were divine timing at work. But here's the thing, you kept going. When others gave up, you stayed in the fight. When others surrendered to doubt, you held on to your faith. When everything in your life told you to quit, something inside of you refused, and that's why you've already won. Victory was sealed the moment you chose faith over fear. There is a spiritual law that cannot be broken, as within, so without. Everything that happens in the physical world is just a reflection of what has already happened in the spiritual. The moment you shifted your mindset, the external world had no choice but to follow. The reason things seemed to fall apart at first is because the old reality couldn't sustain your new identity. Have you noticed how certain things stopped making sense? The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The people you once surrounded yourself with no longer align with your energy. The things that used to bring you comfort now feel foreign. That's because you've elevated beyond them. When you started aligning with your purpose, the universe started removing everything that was no longer meant for you. That's why certain relationships fell apart. That's why some doors closed so suddenly. That's why you were forced into isolation. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being prepared. You had to let go of distractions so you could focus. You had to lose certain relationships so you could find your true soul family. You had to experience setbacks so you could be redirected toward the right path. And now, everything you've lost is about to be replaced with something greater. Have you noticed the signs? A deep sense of inner peace, even when things don't seem perfect. The feeling that something powerful is about to happen, even if you can't explain it. Unexpected opportunities, ideas, or connections showing up seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The spirit world moved first, and now the physical world is catching up. The people who once overlooked you, they're suddenly paying attention. The opportunities that once seemed impossible, they're aligning effortlessly. The resources you thought you lacked, they're finding their way to you. Because when God says it's your time, nothing and no one can stop it. The breakthrough is already yours. Claim it. Chosen one, you are not waiting on your breakthrough is waiting on you to claim it. Whatever you did, it worked. Whatever you prayed for, it's already set in motion. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to question. This is the time to walk boldly into everything that is rightfully yours. You see, the enemy wanted you to believe you were losing. The distractions, the setbacks, the betrayals, it was all designed to make you doubt yourself. But what the enemy didn't realize is that every attack only made you stronger. Every challenge sharpened you. Every disappointment built your resilience. And now, you are unstoppable. You're no longer asking for permission to be great. You're no longer waiting for validation from those who never believed in you. You're no longer playing small to make others comfortable. Because the moment you chose faith over fear, the battle was over. The moment you chose to trust the unseen, the victory was sealed. And now, the results of that victory are about to unfold. Everything that was meant for you is making its way to you now. The financial breakthrough, the opportunities, the divine connections, it's already done. It was written before you were even born. The only thing left for you to do is walk in it. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. You've already won. Now, step into your victory. Chosen one, have you noticed how the energy around you is shifting? Have you felt that deep, unshakable knowing that something massive is about to happen? This isn't your imagination, this is spiritual alignment at work. Everything that once felt out of reach is now moving into place because you've finally stepped into alignment with your divine path. What is spiritual alignment? It's when your thoughts, actions, and beliefs are in complete harmony with your highest calling. It's when you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with divine timing. And when that happens, miracles unfold effortlessly. But here's the thing, the process of alignment is not easy. Before everything falls into place, everything must first fall apart. The relationships that no longer serve you will break away. The habits that kept you stagnant will be exposed. The illusions that once blinded you will be shattered. It might feel like chaos, but in reality, it's divine order. The old version of you is being stripped away to make room for the new. Think about the moments in your life when you experienced the most pain. The deepest betrayals, the hardest lessons. Were they not the very things that led you to this moment? If those things hadn't happened, would you have awakened to your true power? Would you have found the strength, the resilience, the wisdom that now defines you? The fire you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you. Everything that left was making room for what's meant to stay. Some of you have experienced losses that felt unbearable. You lost friendships, relationships, opportunities, even versions of yourself that you thought you needed. But what if I told you that everything that left was only making room for what was meant to stay? The job you didn't get, it wasn't aligned with your true calling. The person who betrayed you, they weren't equipped to walk with you into your destiny. The path that was blocked, it was never meant to lead you to your highest potential. Nothing is ever taken from you without purpose. The people, places, and things that exit your life do so because they've served their role in your story. Your spirit called for more, and the universe responded. This is why you're no longer drawn to the things that once entertained you. This is why conversations that used to excite you now feel shallow. This is why the old version of you feels like a stranger, because you've outgrown them. You are elevating, and as you rise, so must everything around you. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are becoming. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are stepping into the reality that was written for you before time began. You are finally walking in the authority that was destined for you. This is why your manifestations are happening faster. This is why your intuition is sharper. This is why you feel an unshakable sense of purpose, even when you can't see the full picture yet. Because deep down, you already know the breakthrough isn't coming, it's here. Step into your destiny. The time is now. Chosen one. The waiting period is over. The years of questioning, doubting, and wondering if you were truly meant for more, it was all leading up to this moment. You are no longer in a season of seeking, you are in a season of receiving. You are no longer knocking on doors, you are walking through them. You've done the work. You've passed the tests. You've proven to the universe that you are ready. Now, everything that is meant for you will unfold in divine timing. The resources, the connections, the opportunities, they are already making their way to you. Not because you begged for them, not because you struggled for them, but because they have always belonged to you. You don't need to chase what is already yours. You don't need to force what is already aligned. You don't need to prove yourself to those who were never meant to see your worth. You are walking in your divine inheritance. So stand tall, move forward with confidence. Know that what's ahead of you is far greater than anything behind you. The doors that are opening now will not close. The blessings that are flowing now will not be blocked. Because what God has for you, no one can take away. You've already won. Now, step into your victory. Chosen one, this is the season where you finally see the fruits of your labor. The struggles, the betrayals, the silent battles you endured, they were never in vain. Every tear you shed, every moment of doubt, every night you spent wondering when your time would come, it was all shaping you for this very moment. You didn't just survive, you transformed. And now, you are stepping into a new reality, one where the pain of the past no longer holds you, where the opinions of others no longer define you, and where you finally see yourself as the powerful being you were always meant to be. The world may have counted you out, but God never did. What was once delayed is now accelerating for years. It felt like you were walking in circles, praying, working, believing, but nothing seemed to change. Doors remained closed, opportunities slipped away, and the people around you couldn't understand why someone as gifted as you wasn't flourishing. But what they didn't know was that your journey was never about speed, it was about alignment. You weren't being denied. You were being prepared. You weren't being overlooked. You were being hidden. You weren't losing. You were gaining wisdom, strength, and divine timing. And now, the wait is over. The momentum is shifting. Everything that was delayed is now being accelerated. The breakthroughs that once felt distant are now manifesting before your very eyes. It's not by chance. It's not luck. It's divine order. You were chosen for this. You were set apart for a reason. And the season of waiting, of struggling, of wondering if it would ever happen for you, it has officially ended. Why your energy is different now? Have you noticed how people are reacting to you differently? How your presence carries a weight, a power that wasn't there before? That's because you have stepped into your spiritual authority. When you align with your divine purpose, your very essence changes. You walk with more confidence, speak with more wisdom, move with more certainty. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You no longer entertain what distracts you. People can feel it. Some will be drawn to you, sensing that you are different, that you carry something sacred. Others will be intimidated, confused by how you seem to glow without effort. But none of that matters anymore, because you are no longer seeking validation from the world. You understand now, you were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to lead, to inspire, to walk a path that only the chosen can walk. This is just the beginning. You might be tempted to think that this is the peak, that you've finally arrived. But let me tell you something. Chosen one, this is only the beginning. The success, the recognition, the abundance, it's not the end goal. It's simply a reflection of your inner transformation. The real victory is in the wisdom you've gained. The real treasure is in the resilience you've built. The real reward is knowing that you are finally, fully, unapologetically walking in your divine assignment. This is why nothing and no one can stop you now. Because this isn't about ego. It's about purpose. This isn't about proving yourself. It's about fulfilling the mission you were sent here for. You've already won. Chosen one. Now walk forward in power. Your story is just beginning. Chosen one. Take a deep breath and let this truth settle in. You've already won. Not because the world has recognized you. Not because every battle has disappeared. But because you have stepped into your divine power. For so long, you fought battles in silence, doubted your worth, and questioned if your efforts were even making a difference. But now, you see the proof. The shift is real. The transformation is undeniable. You are no longer who you used to be. And that is the greatest victory of all. The journey was never about them, it was about you. The betrayals, the rejections, the misunderstandings, they weren't meant to break you. They were meant to shape you. Everything you went through was orchestrated to bring you to this moment. To strip away the false narratives, the self-doubt, and the need for external validation. You no longer need approval. You no longer seek permission. You walk with certainty now. You move with divine wisdom. You stand in the truth of who you are. And because of that, no one can stop what is already yours. Step boldly into what's next. The world is waiting for the fully awakened version of you. No more playing small. No more second-guessing. No more shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You have everything you need. The time is now. Walk forward in faith. Step into your abundance. Embrace the power that was always within you. You've already won. Now go and claim what is yours. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you're subscribed because this journey is just getting started. There's something they never wanted you to know. A truth so powerful, so life-changing, that the very moment you hear it, everything shifts. Your mind shifts. Your spirit shifts. Your entire reality begins to change, and that's what terrifies them. Because the moment you wake up to this truth, their control over you shatters. Their lies lose power. Their grip on your destiny crumbles. You see, this world is not what it seems. There's a war happening all around you, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. And whether you realize it or not, you have been at the center of this battle from the very beginning. From the moment you took your first breath, forces have been working against you, trying to silence you, trying to weaken you, trying to keep you from discovering the truth about who you really are. They don't want you to hear this message because they know once you do, you can never go back to the way things were. They have been manipulating reality, shaping your thoughts, and keeping you distracted. They fed you lies through society, through the media, through people who were supposed to guide you, but were just as blind as everyone else. They made sure you were surrounded by negativity, by fear, by doubt. They planted thoughts in your mind that made you question your worth, made you feel small, made you think that your struggles were proof that you were forgotten. But what if I told you the exact opposite was true? What if I told you that the reason you've faced so much resistance in life isn't because you were weak, but because you were powerful? You are chosen, and they have always known it. That is why they targeted you. That is why you felt like an outsider, like you didn't fit in, like you were constantly being held back while others seemed to move forward so easily. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It wasn't because you were unlucky. It was because they saw something in you before you even saw it in yourself. They knew you carried a light inside you, and they have been trying to put it out ever since. But here's what they never expected. They thought the pain would break you. They thought the delays would make you give up. They thought the betrayals would cause you to turn against yourself. But instead, everything they threw at you only made you stronger. You are still here. You are still standing. And now, you are awakening. And that is what terrifies them the most. Because once you open your eyes, you will start to see the patterns. You will start to recognize the deception. You will realize that the very things meant to destroy you were actually preparing you. And when you step into your true power, everything changes. The enemy's grip on you weakens. The illusions begin to fall away, and suddenly, you understand you were never meant to live in chains. That is why they fought so hard to keep this message from you. That is why they made sure you were surrounded by people who doubted you. By systems designed to drain you. By situations meant to break you. They wanted you lost, discouraged, exhausted, because if you never found out the truth, they could continue to control you. But now, that control is slipping away, because here you are. And here it is, the truth they never wanted you to hear. The question is, what will you do with it? This battle didn't start today. It didn't start when you first faced rejection, when you first felt lost, when you first questioned your purpose. No, this battle began long before you were even aware of it. The forces working against you have been operating in the shadows, weaving a web of deception so intricate that most people never even realize they're trapped. But you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were never meant to stay blind. And that's exactly why they fought so hard to keep you from seeing the truth. They knew from the very beginning that you were different, that you carried something special, that your destiny was greater than the average person. So they set traps, silent, invisible traps designed to keep you weak, small, and distracted. They didn't come after you with obvious attacks. No, that would have been too easy to resist. Instead, they worked through the people around you, through the systems you trusted, through the very world you were born into. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:2-6, that's the foundation of their strategy. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know the power inside you, you can never claim it. So they buried the truth. They made sure you were raised in a world that constantly told you what you couldn't do, instead of what you were created to do. They planted doubt in your mind from an early age, using people you trusted, teachers, parents, friends, people who unknowingly passed down the same lies they were told. You have to be realistic. You're not special. Not everyone is meant for greatness. Over time, these words became the bars of an invisible prison. But that wasn't enough. They needed to make sure you stayed asleep. So they flooded your life with distractions. Look around you. Everything in this world is designed to keep you occupied, to keep you chasing things that do not serve you. Entertainment, social media, meaningless drama, temporary pleasures, all of it carefully designed to keep you from ever asking the one question that could set you free. Who am I really? Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2, that's the key. That's what they never wanted you to do. Because the moment you change your mindset, the moment you stop following the crowd and start seeking the truth, the illusion begins to fall apart. And when distractions weren't enough, they sent obstacles. They made you feel like every time you tried to rise, something pulled you back down. They sent toxic people into your life, people who drained you, people who betrayed you, people who made you question your own worth. They placed roadblocks in your path, financial struggles, unexpected losses, moments of deep pain, hoping that the weight of it all would break you. They used relationships to keep you entangled, cycles of heartbreak to keep you emotionally drained, and environments of negativity to keep you doubting yourself. They made sure you were surrounded by people who could not see your vision, people who belittled your dreams, people who projected their own fears onto you. They made sure you were influenced by a system designed to keep you in debt, to keep you overworked, to keep you exhausted so that you never had the energy to step into your true purpose. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full. John 10:10, that's what you were meant for, a life of abundance, of power, of divine purpose. But the enemy's greatest weapon is deception. If he can convince you that you are powerless, then you will never fight back. If he can make you believe that your pain is proof of your failure, then you will never realize that your pain was actually preparing you for something greater. Because the truth is, they were never afraid of your past. They were afraid of your future. They saw what you would become if you ever broke free from the lies. They knew that if you ever realized how powerful you truly are, their entire system would collapse. And so, they did everything they could to make sure you stayed distracted, drained, and defeated. They wanted you to believe that your struggles were random, that your pain had no purpose, that you were just another ordinary soul trying to survive in a world that was never meant for you. But that was the biggest lie of all, because nothing about you is ordinary. Nothing about your life is random. The attacks, the setbacks, the challenges, they weren't proof that you were forgotten. They were proof that you were chosen. They even made sure to distort spirituality, turning people away from truth and into confusion. They promoted false doctrines, twisting what was once pure into something corrupt. They replaced faith with fear, hope with doubt, truth with deception. They convinced millions to reject their calling, to walk away from purpose, to live in cycles of mediocrity instead of stepping into greatness. For many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 20:14, and you are one of the few. That is why the battle has been so intense. That is why you have felt so much resistance. Because you are dangerous to the forces that seek to keep people enslaved. They wanted you to stay asleep because the moment you wake up, you become a light in the darkness. You become the evidence that others need to see to wake up themselves. You become a living testimony that no matter how hard the enemy tries to steal your destiny, God's purpose will always prevail. And now, the time has come for you to break free, to wake up, to reclaim everything that was stolen from you. But first, you must recognize the battle for what it is. You must see through the illusion. You must understand that everything they did to keep you blind was because they knew the moment you opened your eyes, they would lose all power over you. And now, you are beginning to see. The question is, what will you do with this vision? For so long, they did everything in their power to keep you blind, lost and disconnected from your true identity. They fed you lies, placed obstacles in your path, and orchestrated circumstances to break you. But despite all their efforts, something inside you refused to stay asleep. There was always a voice, quiet at times, but persistent, whispering that you were meant for more. That voice wasn't just your imagination. It was the call of your true self, the echo of your divine identity. And now, as the illusion starts to crumble, you are finally beginning to remember who you truly are. You are not small. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are divinely crafted, set apart from the beginning of time, carrying a light within you that darkness has always feared. The trials you have faced were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to shape you, to refine you, to prepare you for the calling on your life. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to live in mediocrity, to blend into the background, to accept a life that does not align with the greatness that has been placed inside you. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1-5. Do you understand what that means? Long before you took your first breath, your destiny was already established. God saw you. He knew exactly what you were meant to do, exactly what you were meant to become. And because of that, the enemy launched a war against you. He couldn't destroy you, so he tried to make you destroy yourself. He couldn't take away your power, so he tried to convince you that you never had any. He couldn't erase your purpose, so he tried to drown you in distractions, pain, and doubt, hoping you would walk away from it on your own. But now, you are awakening. You are starting to see that your struggles were not proof of your weakness, but of your strength. The more resistance you faced, the greater your purpose must be. They wouldn't have fought this hard to keep you down if you weren't destined to rise. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. You were never meant to stay hidden. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into a world that was never designed to support your greatness. You are here to be a beacon, to shine so brightly that others trapped in darkness will begin to find their own way out. But for that to happen, you must fully step into your identity. What does that mean? It means you must reject every lie that was ever spoken over you, every voice that told you that you were unworthy, incapable, or not enough, every past failure that made you believe you weren't meant for more, every limitation placed on you by the world, by family, by your own fears. You must let it all go. You are not who they said you were. You are not bound by the mistakes of your past. You are not defined by the opinions of those who never saw your worth. You are exactly who God says you are: powerful, resilient, filled with purpose. The moment you accept that truth, everything changes. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned. Isaiah 54:17. You were never meant to be defeated. Every battle, every hardship, every betrayal, it all served a greater purpose. It was never about breaking you. It was about building you into someone unstoppable, someone who could walk through fire and come out refined, someone who could withstand storms and remain unshaken, someone who is ready to claim their destiny. Because here's the truth they never wanted you to discover: you are a warrior. You are a force. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to lead, to inspire, to shift the atmosphere around you. You are here to take back everything that was stolen, to reclaim your inheritance, to step into the life that was always meant for you. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the captives and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free. Luke 4:18. This is your mission: to break free so that others may follow, to arise so that others may find their strength, to awaken so that others may remember who they are. You are not just an individual. You are part of something much greater: a divine movement, a chosen generation, a force that cannot be stopped. So now, you must decide: will you continue living as the person they tried to make you believe you were? Or will you rise up and walk in the truth of who you have always been? The battle was never about keeping you down. It was about keeping you from realizing your power. But now that you know the truth, there is only one thing left to do. It's time to rise. For generations, they operated in the shadows, controlling, deceiving, manipulating, always working behind the scenes to ensure you never saw the full picture. But something is happening now. The illusion is breaking. The systems they built to keep you trapped are starting to crumble. The deception that kept you blind is being exposed for what it truly is. And they are losing power because you are waking up. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. Everything they built was designed to keep you in a state of fear, dependency, and confusion. They needed you to believe that you were small so they could remain in control. They needed you to doubt yourself so that you would never question their authority. They fed you false narratives, kept you distracted with endless cycles of struggle, and made sure you were too exhausted to even think about seeking the truth. But here's what they never expected: the truth always has a way of revealing itself. And now, their biggest fear has come to pass. The chosen ones are seeing through the lies. The same systems that once held power over you are now being questioned. The institutions that once dictated reality are losing credibility. The deception that enslaved millions is beginning to be exposed. What once seemed unshakable is now on the verge of collapse. And they know it. That's why they are scrambling. That's why they are becoming more aggressive, more desperate, more blatant in their attacks because they know they are running out of time. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20. For so long, they twisted truth into lies and convinced the world to accept it. They called oppression protection. They called deception education. They called enslavement freedom. They built an empire on falsehoods. And now that the foundation is crumbling, they have nothing left to stand on. Look around. The signs are everywhere. Their financial systems are unstable. Their governments are losing control. The institutions that once carried authority are now being exposed for corruption. The entertainment and media industries, once used to control minds and dictate reality, are losing their grip. The people are no longer asleep. The veil has been lifted, and now they fear what comes next, because the moment the masses realize they have been lied to, manipulated, and controlled, their entire empire falls apart. Therefore, this is what the Sovereign Lord says: I will execute judgment against those who have oppressed my people. I will repay them for what they have done. Ezekiel 25:17. They cannot stop what is coming. They cannot reverse the awakening. No amount of censorship, no amount of suppression, no amount of fear-mongering can stop the chosen ones from stepping into their power. The time of exposure has arrived. The darkness that operated in secret is now being brought into the light. And when the truth is revealed, those who built their thrones on deception will be left with nothing. This is why you were attacked so heavily, because they knew this moment would come. They knew that if you ever broke free, if you ever remembered who you were, you would become unstoppable. They didn't want you to realize your strength, your authority, your divine calling, because they knew that once you did, you would be the very force that dismantles their power. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. Now you are seeing, and now they are falling. Their time is up. The system that once ruled over you is losing its grip. The ones who tried to suppress your destiny are now watching as the tables turn. Everything they stole is being returned. Everything they built on lies is collapsing. Everything they did to keep you blind is now backfiring. Because this is the era of revelation. What once seemed like an unbreakable stronghold is nothing more than an illusion. What once seemed impossible to fight against is now trembling under the weight of truth. The chosen ones are stepping into their rightful place, reclaiming the inheritance that was always meant for them. And no power on earth can stop what has already been set in motion. They begged that this message never reach you, because they knew the moment you heard it, they would start losing everything. But it's too late now. You see the truth, and once you see, you can never be blind again. Now that you see the truth, you have a responsibility to protect it. This awakening is not just a moment, it is a process, a battle, a lifelong journey. The enemy is not going to accept defeat easily. Those who built their power on deception will not give up without a fight. They know they have already lost, but they will do everything in their power to pull you back into darkness, to make you doubt, to make you forget, to lull you back to sleep. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5-8. This is not the time to get comfortable. This is not the time to relax and assume the battle is over. They are still watching, still plotting, still waiting for an opportunity to reclaim control over your mind, your spirit, your destiny. And if you are not careful, if you are not rooted in truth, they will succeed in pulling you back into the very chains you just broke free from. They will use distraction. They will flood your life with noise, with entertainment, with endless cycles of fear and chaos, because they know if they can keep your mind occupied with the world, you will lose focus on your purpose. They will use doubt. They will whisper lies, make you question everything you've learned, make you second-guess the truth that was revealed to you. They will send people into your life to mock you, to call you crazy, to pressure you into returning to the way things were. They will use exhaustion. They will make the road seem long and lonely, make you feel like you are fighting a battle that cannot be won. They will try to drain you, wear you down, make you think it's easier to just give up and go back to being blind. But you must not fall. You must not waver. You must not allow yourself to be pulled back into the deception. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things God's wrath comes on those who are disobedient. Therefore do not be partners with them. Ephesians 5:6-7. You are not the same person you once were. You have seen too much, learned too much, grown too much. Going back is no longer an option. You have a calling, a purpose, a destiny that cannot be fulfilled if you allow yourself to fall back into sleep. The enemy knows this. That is why the attacks are increasing. That is why the spiritual warfare is intensifying. Because now you are dangerous. Now you are a threat. Now you are stepping into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. And that terrifies them. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Ephesians 6:11. This is your protection. Stay grounded in truth. Stay connected to your purpose. Stay vigilant. The world will try to distract you. People will try to discourage you. Your own mind will try to convince you that this path is too difficult. But you must remember you were chosen for a reason. You were given this revelation because you are meant to carry it, to walk in it, to use it to set others free. Do not go back to sleep. Do not let the enemy reclaim the territory that you have fought so hard to win. Stand firm. Keep moving forward. Keep breaking chains. Keep shining your light. Because once you awaken, your job is not to return to the dream. Your job is to wake others up. Now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? Awakening is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning. You were not just chosen to see, you were chosen to act. You were not just called to wake up, you were called to rise. The knowledge you have gained is not meant to stay hidden inside you. It is meant to be lived, to be shared, to be used as a weapon against the darkness that once held you captive. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. Romans 8:19. The world is waiting for you to step into your power. There are people who need your voice, people who need your strength, people who are trapped in the same chains you once wore and are searching for a way out. You are the evidence that freedom is possible. You are the living proof that the enemy does not win. But in order to fulfill your purpose, you must move. Enough waiting, enough second-guessing, enough wondering if you are ready. You are ready. Every battle you have fought, every hardship you have endured, every deception you have overcome, it has all been preparing you for this moment. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to step forward, to take your rightful place, to claim everything that was always meant for you. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. Matthew 11:12. It will not be given to you easily. You will have to fight for it. You will have to walk through doors that the enemy tried to lock. You will have to push past fear, past doubt, past every voice that tells you to stay small. But if you keep moving forward, nothing will be able to stop you. So what does this look like? It means speaking your truth boldly, even when others don't understand. It means protecting your energy, surrounding yourself with those who uplift and strengthen you. It means breaking free from toxic patterns, leaving behind anything that keeps you from your divine calling. It means stepping into leadership, using your gifts, walking in faith even when the path isn't clear. It means claiming your inheritance, refusing to live in lack, rejecting the false limitations placed on you. You did not receive the spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption as sons and daughters. by whom we cry, Abba, Father. Romans 8:15. You were never meant to be a slave to fear. You were never meant to live in doubt, to question your worth, to beg for permission to take what is already yours. You are a child of the Most High. You are royalty. You have authority, and it is time to walk in it. The enemy hoped you would stay passive. He hoped you would settle for just knowing the truth without ever acting on it. But that is not who you are. You are not here to sit on the sidelines. You are not here to live in hesitation. You are here to build, to lead, to transform, to break barriers, to claim victory not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 60:1. This is the moment you have been waiting for. This is the moment you step into your destiny. This is the moment you choose to walk in your power. No more fear, no more doubt, no more hesitation. You were chosen. You were called. Now it's time to move. This is it, the moment you have been preparing for. The moment everything in your life has been leading up to. Every trial, every struggle, every moment of doubt, every battle you fought in the dark, it was all preparing you for this awakening. You were never meant to live in confusion. You were never meant to stay in bondage. You were never meant to be powerless. You were meant to rise. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1-5. This is not a coincidence. You are not here by accident. You are not hearing this message by chance. This is divine timing. The awakening happening inside you right now is part of something far greater than you can even imagine. The old ways are collapsing. The false powers are crumbling. The enemy is losing ground, and the chosen ones, you are stepping into position. You were born for such a time as this. You were placed in this moment of history for a reason. Now is your time to act. The enemy begged that this message never reach you. But here you are. You have seen the truth. You know who you are. And once you see, you can never go back. You can never unsee the deception. You can never forget your power. You can never return to being the person you once were. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. You have been transformed. You are no longer asleep. You are no longer bound by the illusions that once controlled you. And because of that, the enemy fears you. The world may not understand you. People may doubt you. You may even feel alone at times, but you are never alone. God's hand is on you. His Spirit is within you. His favor surrounds you, and nothing can stop what He has set in motion in your life. This is your confirmation. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to wake up. You were meant to step into your power. Now, the only question is, will you answer the call? Will you walk boldly in your destiny? Will you take hold of everything that is already yours? This is your moment. Do not let it pass you by. If this message resonated with you, if you feel this truth in your spirit, let it be known. Comment 777 below as a declaration that you are stepping into your power, that you are claiming your inheritance, that you are ready to walk in your divine calling. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because this is only the beginning. You are chosen. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. And your time is now. There comes a time when you must rise, not just as the person you've been, but as the royalty God has already declared you to be. You are not ordinary. You are not just another face in the crowd. You have been set apart, chosen before time began, and the world can sense it. That is why your presence alone commands attention, sparks envy, and attracts both admiration and opposition. But here's what many don't realize: the way you respond to the world around you will determine your next level of elevation. People will test you. They will question your authority. Some will try to provoke you, hoping to pull you into their chaos. Others will challenge your worth, not realizing that your value was determined by God before they ever had an opinion about you. The enemy knows he cannot strip you of your divine calling, so he will try to make you doubt it, defend it, or waste energy proving yourself to those who were never meant to see your vision. But royalty does not explain itself. Royalty does not beg to be understood. Royalty walks with confidence, answers with wisdom, and moves with grace. You were called to lead, to stand in divine authority, to be a light in a world full of darkness. And because of that, you must learn the art of responding like a king, like a queen, not out of emotion, not out of insecurity, but out of the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are in God. So I ask you, are you ready? Are you prepared to carry yourself in a way that reflects the divine power within you? Because the moment of testing is near. The moment where your reaction could either elevate you or keep you stuck is coming. Stay ready, because your next level is closer than you think. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when you will be tested not in the way the world expects, but in a manner designed to reveal your true identity. This test will not be about how much you know or how strong you appear to be. It will be about how you carry yourself, how you respond to the trials, and whether you truly understand the divine authority placed upon you. Every king and queen throughout history has faced this moment. It's not when they sit on the throne that their royalty is proven, it's in the trials, in the battles, in the moments when everything and everyone challenges them. True authority is not given, it is revealed. And you, as God's chosen one, are walking through this revelation. The world is watching you, though you may not realize it. They observe how you react to negativity, how you handle setbacks, how you move when pressure surrounds you. They want to see, are you really who you say you are? Do you truly believe in the power God has given you? Or will you fold when the test comes? But understand this, God does not test you to break you. He tests you to elevate you. He wants to see if you can remain poised under pressure, if you can maintain your dignity when you are provoked, if you can hold on to your faith when everything around you seems to be against you. You don't prepare for a battle the day the enemy arrives, you prepare every single day. That is why you must stay ready, because when the moment comes, you won't have time to get ready. You will only have time to respond, and how you respond will determine your next level. The enemy will send people into your life disguised as friends, lovers, mentors, or even family members. They will test your patience, challenge your peace, and provoke you into reacting in ways that are beneath your calling. They will try to pull you into unnecessary battles, hoping to distract you from your purpose. Do not fall into the trap. Instead, move like royalty. Think of a king or queen. Do they engage in petty arguments? Do they seek approval from those who do not understand their worth? Do they defend their position every time someone questions them? No, they sit in their power, unshaken, because they know their position is ordained not by man, but by God, and that is the mindset you must adopt. True power is not loud, it is not reactive, it is steady, unmovable, and undeniable. That is why kings and queens do not respond to every voice. They do not lower themselves to prove anything. They understand that their presence alone speaks louder than any argument ever could. You, too, must learn to embody this truth. This is why you must stay ready, because the moment of your test is coming. The world will challenge you. People will misjudge you. The enemy will try to shake you. But when you stand firm in your divine identity, you win without even having to fight. And here's the secret: God has already declared your victory. You don't have to prove it to anyone. Just walk in it. In a world where everyone is quick to react, quick to defend themselves, and quick to prove their worth, your greatest strength as a chosen one is your ability to remain still, composed, and unshaken. This is not a weakness, it is a demonstration of true power. Because when you know who you are, you don't need validation. When you understand your authority, you don't need to announce it. Your presence alone speaks volumes. But here's the challenge. People will try to pull you into battles that are beneath you. They will question your motives, misunderstand your actions, and even doubt your calling. They will try to provoke a reaction because they cannot comprehend how someone like you carries such peace, such confidence, such divine energy. Do not give them what they seek. A lion does not respond to the bark of a dog. A king does not explain his decisions to every critic. And you, as a chosen one, do not need to lower yourself to meet people at their level of misunderstanding. Instead, you answer like royalty. So how do you do that? How do you carry yourself as royalty when people try to provoke you? Silence is your weapon. Not every situation requires a response. Not every insult, doubt, or challenge needs to be addressed. True power lies in discernment, knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence can be louder than words. It forces people to sit with their own doubts and misconceptions rather than receiving an emotional reaction from you. A king or queen does not argue with everyone who misunderstands them. They move forward in purpose, knowing the truth will reveal itself in time. Walk with the confidence of your calling. Chosen ones do not seek approval because they know their value is already determined by God. When you step into a room, your energy shifts the atmosphere. People may not understand it, but they feel it. Some will be drawn to it, and others will be threatened by it. That's not your concern. Your job is to walk in your divine calling, knowing that what God has for you cannot be taken by anyone. Choose your battles wisely. Not every fight is meant for you. Some battles are distractions designed to pull you away from your destiny. When someone challenges you, before you respond, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this elevate me or drain me? A king does not fight every battle, he fights only the battles that secure his kingdom. You must do the same. Let your results speak for themselves. The most powerful response to doubt, criticism, or resistance is your success. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Your growth, your transformation, and your elevation will be the answer to every question and every doubt. Keep moving forward. Keep building. Keep growing. Let God's work in your life be your answer. Understand that you are already victorious. The enemy wants you to believe that you need to fight for your destiny. But the truth is, you have already won. The tests, the trials, the doubts, these are not signs that you are losing. They are signs that you are stepping into something greater. When you start facing resistance, it's not because you are weak, it's because you are a threat. The enemy does not attack those who are stagnant. He attacks those who are rising. So stand firm, move like royalty, answer like royalty, and most importantly, trust that God has already secured your victory. Because when you truly embrace this, nothing and no one can shake you. The moment you start walking in your true power, the moment you stop seeking validation from the world and start embracing your divine authority, opposition will come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But understand this, opposition is not a sign that you are failing. It is confirmation that you are elevating. The enemy only attacks those who are stepping into their God-given destiny. So when the challenges come, when people start questioning you, when they misunderstand your journey, stand firm, because you are not just anybody, you are royalty. 1. The greater the calling, the greater the opposition. Have you ever noticed how the most anointed, the most chosen, the most divinely appointed individuals go through the most intense battles? It's not a coincidence. The enemy is terrified of what you are becoming. He sees the light on you before you even fully recognize it yourself. That is why people suddenly start turning against you. Why old relationships no longer fit. Why certain doors seem harder to open. But here's the secret. What is for you cannot be taken from you. No amount of resistance can block what God has already destined. If anything, the opposition is proof that you are on the right path. 2. Do not react, respond with wisdom. When people attack you, when they slander you, when they try to pull you into drama, understand that your response determines your elevation. A king does not argue with every critic. A queen does not lower herself to meet those who misunderstand her power. You must learn to respond with wisdom, not emotion. If someone questions your growth, stay silent and let time reveal the truth. If someone doubts your calling, remember that they are not the ones who anointed you, God is. If someone tries to pull you into conflict, ask yourself, will this elevate me or drain me? If it drains you, walk away. True power is not in reacting, it is in choosing where to place your energy. 3. Recognizing spiritual warfare. Many of the battles you face are not just physical or emotional, they are spiritual. The enemy will use people, circumstances, and even your own doubts to try and shake your faith. But God has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome. Discernment will reveal who is truly for you and who is secretly working against you. Patience will allow you to see how God is turning every attack into a setup for your victory. Faith will remind you that no matter how hard it gets, you are already victorious. You were not placed here to live in fear. You were not anointed to spend your days fighting meaningless battles. You were chosen to reign, to lead, to walk in divine power. The sooner you recognize this, the sooner you will stop allowing distractions to pull you off course. 4. Own your royalty. Walk in unshakable confidence. Chosen ones, you are not just here to survive, you are here to thrive. Stop seeking approval from those who do not see your worth. Stop trying to convince people who were never meant to understand you. Your destiny is too great to be delayed by small-minded opinions. When opposition comes, walk with your head high. When doubts creep in, remind yourself of who you are. When people question your calling, remember that the only validation you need comes from God. Because at the end of the day, you are royalty, and royalty does not beg to be recognized, it simply reigns. Now that you understand the opposition, the distractions, and the spiritual warfare that come with being chosen, it is time to fully embody your divine authority. You were not placed here to move through life timidly, apologizing for your greatness. You were chosen to walk in power, to lead, to inspire, and to reign in your rightful position. 1. Release the need for external validation. One of the biggest traps for chosen ones is the need for external validation. Many of you have spent your lives waiting for someone to acknowledge your greatness, to confirm your calling, or to tell you that you are worthy. But the truth is, if you are waiting for validation from the world, you will always feel incomplete. A lion does not need a committee to approve its roar. It simply roars because it knows who it is. A king does not ask his subjects for permission to rule. He steps into his authority because it is his divine right. You do not need permission to be powerful. You already are. When you stop seeking validation, you become unstoppable. You no longer wait for approval before making moves. You move in confidence, knowing that God has already approved you. 2. Speak and act like royalty. Power is not just about what you believe, it's about how you carry yourself. The way you speak, the way you walk, the way you handle challenges, these all reflect whether you truly understand your divine identity. Speak with authority. Chosen ones do not shrink themselves to fit into conversations that are beneath them. Walk with purpose. Chosen ones do not wander aimlessly. They step boldly into every room knowing they belong. Make decisions with wisdom. Chosen ones do not react emotionally to every situation. They pause, reflect, and act strategically. You must ask yourself, am I carrying myself as the divine leader I was created to be? If not, it's time to realign. Because when you fully step into your divine power, the world will adjust to you, not the other way around. 3. Protect your energy and your presence. Not everyone deserves access to you. The higher you rise, the more selective you must become. Not everyone can sit at your table. Some people are only in your life to drain you, to distract you, or to slow you down. Not everyone should know your plans. Royalty does not announce every move. They move in silence and let their actions speak. Not everyone can handle your elevation. Some people were comfortable with you when you were struggling, but they cannot handle seeing you walk in power. You must learn to guard your energy the way a king guards his palace. Be mindful of who and what you allow into your space. If something does not align with your divine assignment, let it go. 4. Trust that you were prepared for this moment. You have been through too much to doubt yourself now. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of pain was preparing you for this exact moment. The rejection was redirection. You were being pulled away from places that could not contain your greatness. The isolation was preparation. God was developing you in private so you could shine in public. The challenges were training. You had to go through the fire to come out refined, stronger and wiser. Now, the question is, will you fully embrace your divine authority? Or will you let fear hold you back? Because you are no longer in a season of waiting, you are in a season of ruling. 5. The final shift, owning your role as a leader. Chosen ones, you are not just here to exist, you are here to lead. You are here to inspire others, to break generational curses, and to be a beacon of light in a world full of darkness. Step into every room like you belong there. Because you do, make decisions with confidence. Because you are being divinely guided. Know that your presence alone is powerful. Because it is. This is your moment. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to stand out. You were not created to follow, you were created to lead. You were not put on this earth to be ordinary, you were born extraordinary. So rise, the world is waiting for you to embrace your true power. Chosen ones, this is your time. You have spent too long questioning your worth, doubting your purpose, and seeking approval from a world that was never meant to validate you. But now, the truth is clear, you were chosen, set apart, and crowned before you were even born. The moment you accept this, everything in your life will shift. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to chase validation. You do not need to ask for permission to step into your divine power. You already have the authority, and now it is time to walk in it. Move with confidence, knowing that you are divinely protected. Speak with authority, understanding that your words carry power. Stand firm, because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The battles you have faced were not to break you, but to prepare you. The rejection you endured was not punishment, but redirection. The challenges you overcame were not to weaken you, but to refine you. Now, the world is watching. Will you shrink back, or will you rise? Remember, a king does not beg for his throne. A chosen one does not ask for permission to shine. You were born for this. You have already won. Your victory is already sealed. The only thing left to do is walk in it. So today, make a decision. Stop questioning who you are and start owning it. Because when you do, nothing and no one can stop you. The crown is already on your head, now rule accordingly. If this message resonates with you, let me know in the comments below. Type "I am chosen" and claim your divine power. And if you're ready to walk boldly in your purpose, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful messages. Your journey has only just begun.